Welcome back to the program. Into ASEAN interview this time, we take a look at the situation happening in the Rohingya camps of Bangladesh as various relatives are trying to send out messages to search for their missing loved ones.
คุณผู้ชมคะในช่วงนี้นะคะอาเซียนอินเทอร์วิวค่ะเดี๋ยวจะพาคุณผู้ชมไปดูประเด็นนะคะที่น่าสนใจค่ะนั่นก็คือผู้ลี้ภัยชาวโรฮิงญานะคะได้มีการตามหาญาติที่หายตัวไปรายละเอียดของเรื่องนี้นะคะจะเป็นยังไงเดี๋ยวเราต้องไปติดตามชมพร้อมกันค่ะ
In the sweltering refugee camps in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, speakers, which usually call the Rohingya Muslims to prayers, are being used to offer a different kind of hope. They've been calling refugees to gather as Red Crescent volunteers have been passing along messages to lost or out-of-touch relatives on the other side of the border in Myanmar's Rakhine state. With entire villages razed and thousands believed dead, Red Cross workers say plenty of those stuck in Myanmar prisons have been desperate to know if their families made it to safety of refugee camps in Bangladesh. And those on the other side of the border, unable to go back, told Reuters they're equally keen to know if their loved ones had survived. Refugee in Leda camps in Cox's Bazar, Safika Begum, said her son has been missing for the past 3 months. She adds that where he is, whether he's in jail or not, she doesn't know. An army offensive last August had forced more than 700,000 Rohingya Muslims to flee to neighboring Bangladesh, leaving many of their family members behind, often those who had already been incarcerated in prison. During weeks of violence, the United Nations called ethnic cleansing, soldiers killed, raped, and arrested thousands of the Rohingya. The survivors and human rights groups have reported this. Myanmar denies the allegations. Another refugee, Ramita Begum, said the father of her children had been imprisoned in Butidong jail for 2 years after speaking to International Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement volunteers who took down particulars of her husband. About 2,600 people were detained in prisons in Rakhine State's 2 main jails, the state capital, Sittwe, and Butidong in the north. This is according to the International Committee of the Red Cross, though it does not say how many of them are Rohingya. The Rohingya language does not have a written form, but some of the refugees speak Burmese or English. In Bangladesh, their messages are taken down by Red Cross volunteers in English, often through a translator, while those from the prisons in Rakhine are in Burmese, so they can be read by the censors. Because Myanmar censors all communications in and out of the jails, the letters are limited to family news. Rohingya cannot write about last year's violence or why they were arrested, according to the Red Cross officials. Spokesmen for the Red Cross government and police did not respond to calls or emails seeking comment on the arrests. They also did not respond to requests for comment on the exchange of letters, allegations of ethnic cleansing, and human rights abuses. On a recent afternoon, Red Crescent volunteer at Cox's Bazar, Atikur Rahman Rabi, was reading out a list of 16 Rohingya men found alive in Butidong jail, when among the refugees who quietly gathered around him was a 70-year-old Oli man, hoping to hear the name of his 35-year-old son, Mohammed Rashid. When Oli Myan heard his son's name, he couldn't believe it. Only when it was read out again and the family details were confirmed that he realized his only son was alive. His eyes welled up with tears and he hurried back to his shelter to tell his wife. Reuters saw copies of 7 notes provided by Red Cross officials and handwritten on forms bearing the letterheads of Red Cross organizations, but could not independently verify their authenticity.
คุณผู้ชมคะและนี่นะคะก็คือทั้งหมดค่ะของรายการอาเซียนชาเลนจ์นะคะที่เราได้นำเรื่องราวข่าวสารต่างๆนะคะมาฝากคุณผู้ชมแต่น่าเสียดายค่ะวันนี้นะคะเวลาก็ได้หมดลงแล้วเรา2 คนรวมถึงทีมงานนะคะก็ต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ